Perfect. So welcome back. So in this course we're gonna learn Linux Basics Foundation. This module is designed so that you can navigate any Linux system. You don't get stuck on simple things. You can follow any DevOps tutorial without confusion. And the course section, let's start right away. I'm not gonna waste any time. So what is the shell? The shell is the program that lets you talk to Linux. You type commands, the shell executes them. The command shell is bash. And then what is the file system? This is the file system. At the top you have the root, then you have home, you have etc, you have var, and you have user. So this is the root, this is the top of everything. And since we already have a terminal going on, we have installed Ubuntu over here, we'll be able to actually test this. So if we go here at the top and we do cd, you're gonna see this command later, it's change directory, and we're gonna change to this. Now we are on the directory, the root directory. So if we do a ls, a list, which we're gonna learn also later, you're gonna be able to see all the folders over here. As you can see, those are the folders that you have on the top. etc, var, bin. So we are actually on the very top of the folder. Okay, so that's the way Linux works. So absolute path, what's an absolute path? It's when you start from the root. So if you put this slash over here, it means you are on the root, or you're calling the root. And the root, as you saw right now, is the top of everything. So then you have home, you have, this is the user, and then you have lab. Okay, so we can go and check that once again on Linux. So now we are at the root. We know we are at the root because we have all those files, directories. You have home, tmp, var, lib, and so many. So let's say I want to change the directory, change cd, change directory to home. I want to go into the home. Now I'm in the home directory. So then we're going to do a list, ls, and on that directory we have dev user, mango, and marco. So then we can change directory. We can go to cd marco, and now we are on the marco directory. We want to do an ls, and we have a folder that we created earlier, which we're gonna learn very soon, lab. So this is exactly what we are doing right here. So if you want to know what is the current working directory, so you can do pwd. So this is the current directory where we are. So that's what we call the relative path, because this is where we are. So if you the relative path is actually where we are and where we want to go. The absolute path is actually starting from the root. So that's the difference between absolute and relative. Okay, I hope you understand the concept. Of root and relative, absolute, sorry, and relative. Relative path from where you are, lab test, navigation. This is what we did. PW, where am I? And then you have list the files. This is the command to list the file, ls, ls-l, ls-a. To change folder or change directory, cd. Those are possible command that you can do. And then you can create and manage files using the command touch file. So this will create a new file. mkdir, this will create a folder called folder. cp is to copy. You can copy. This is the source and this is the destination. And if you're gonna copy a folder, you have to use -r, folder 1, folder 2. It's always the source to the destination. Okay. And file mv functions a little bit like cp. It's also used to rename. So you move the file text and the new name will be this, or you can also move it, the file, to this particular folder. And finally you have delete, and it's rm to remove. You can remove a file, you can remove a folder, and this is gonna remove recursively, which means everything that is inside the folder will be also deleted. So there's no recycle bin on Linux, so you gotta be extremely careful. Now to view what's inside a file, you can do the command cat file or less file. And number 7, you have the health system, man ls, and you can press Q to quit. Number 8 is current users. It's who am I. It will tell you who you are. The username. To switch user, su hyphen, and then you put the new user. And to exit the session, this will exit the terminal. Exit. And final, number 9, terminal basics. You can clear with clear. And you have history to see the history of what you've written on the command line. And repeat command is this, To go to multiple terminals in the virtual machine, it's Control Alt F1 to F6. That's gonna give you a new terminal. To return is Control Alt F2 or F1. To stop the programs, Control C. To autocomplete is Tab. So the file system equals the map, the shell equals the controller, and the commands are the actions, and the path are the direction. Okay, so now we're gonna do some practices. We're gonna do those two, PW and LS. We've done it, but we're gonna redo it. Okay, we already did it, but we're just gonna do it again. So pwd gives you the username. Now if we want to do ls, you can do ls here, and that's gonna tell you what's inside the home Marco folder, and inside we have lab. Let's go and go inside the lab. You can just do L and then tab, it's gonna autocomplete. This is what we learned before. So now we are inside the lab. If we do ls, the list, now you're gonna see inside we have file 1sh, and we have another folder. So how do we remove a folder? We learned that on the commands we read earlier. You can do rm -r test perm. So now if we do an ls, you'll see that test perm is gone. Now we only have file 1sh. Okay, those are some of the commands that we learned. We also learned to do a folder, a directory. Let's say we want to bring back test perm because we deleted it, and maybe you did not mean to delete it. So let's bring it back. You do mkdir test perm, and if we do an ls, test perm is back. Okay, now what's another command that we learned? We learned to move and to rename. So let's go and do a move. Actually, let's do a cp, a copy. We learned the cp first. So if we do cp, the source is file 1sh, and I want to copy it to test inside test perm, the directory we just created. So we're gonna do test. Once again, you can just do tab, it's gonna autocomplete. I'm gonna press enter. So now if we do ls here, we still have file 1sh because we actually copy it. So we did not remove it from this folder, we just copy it. But if we go inside now test perm, you can do two things. Either you do ls test perm, okay, you can see what's inside. So inside there's file 1sh which we copied, or you can do cd test perm, and now you do an ls and you get the same result. Inside you're gonna have the file 1.sh. Okay, so the move, let's say we're gonna try the move now. The move, we can move the file, but it's also used to rename. So if I do mv file1 and I want to change the name, I want to call it test 1, and I want to change even the extension. Now if I do an ls, what's gonna happen? File 1 is gone because now we rename it to test1.txt. So move, you can move the file or you can rename it. Let's say I want to send it, I want to send this file. Now we are in where we are. You want to know where we are, we do pwd. It's gonna tell you exactly where you are. You are at home, Marco Lab test perm. Let's say I want to move that file test1 from here to Marco Lab. I want to go and put it in the lab, inside the lab, not inside test perm. So let's go and do that. So how would you go about do it? How would you go about doing this? mv, and you're gonna do move what? Test1 txt, and the destination we want to send it to lab test perm, and let's see if it works. No, you cannot move to lab test perm because we are already on it. Right? But if I want to move it to lab, there's no directory there either. Why? Because we have this. And if we do like this, now it should work. Let's go and check it out. So let's go and do an ls lab and see if it works. Yes, ls lab is there. Let's go and change directory. And if you do 2 dots, you're gonna go backwards. So now we are in lab. We do an ls. Now we have in ls here, we have test perm, and we have file 1sh, and I don't know what's inside there. Now we have lab inside text perm. Okay, let's go and check. We can use also clear to clear everything. Now we learn also history. History will give you every command you have typed. And if you just want the top, you can say clear head. Head option, maybe we can say clear, let me see if it works, this 5 head. No, actually use this in clear head. No, we're gonna learn that later, how to use the head and the tail. Use this instead of term. So let's clear this. Okay, so now we are on the where we are here, and we do an ls. We are here. So let's go and see if we can move this, move file 1 sh and put it inside of test perm. If we do an ls, now we moved it, it's not there any longer. But if we do change directory and we do an ls here, the file 1 was moved here. And if we want to rename, how do you do it? Once again, you can do rename mv file 1.sh, and we're gonna rename it to file 2.sh. It was renamed. So we did a lot of the exercises here. We already did this. We changed this, now you know. So to create a file, it's touch, and then you have this command here. So let's do this one. If we do a touch file 1, and then we do an ls -l, it will give you more details. It will tell you that we have over here on the right file 1 sh, file 2 sh, and we have a folder called lab. Let me change into lab. What's inside the lab? Actually, lab, it's not a directory. So lab is just a file. So if let's say we're gonna you wanna get rid of it, how do we do it? The command to delete, it's not del, actually remove lab, and now we do an ls, the lab is gone. And also if you do ls-l, that will give you also rw, and you see the first hyphen next to rw, it means that it's a file. If you would have a D, it would mean that it's a directory. But since it's a hyphen, you know it's a file. And those are the permissions, rw. We'll learn them on the next, actually we already did a video about it. Permissions, you have 7, you have 6, 6, 5, 4, and 0. When you see a hyphen, it's 0. When you see a 4, it's R. When you see a 5, it's R and X. When you see a 6, it's R and W. And when you see a 7, it's all the permissions. So 7, R, W, and X means a file is readable, writable, and executable. A 6 means readable, writable. A 5 means readable, executable. And 4 means just readable. And here, none, no permissions. So those are the permissions. Also, you see over there on the file 1 you have RW and RW. What does that mean? RW means 6, and then another 6, and then you have a 4 because you have an R. So 6 means the owner. This is the owner. Then this is the group permissions, owner permissions, group permissions, and then others, other permission. This we're gonna come back later for about this, to learn more about this. Okay, so we were able to do attach. Okay, now copy file 1, copy text, move file 2, rename. I think we got this. We're able to do this. If you want, we can do it. File 1 to copy and file 2 to rename. So let's erase this. Let's clear. So let's do an ls. If we have file 1, file 2, first we're gonna remove them. File 1, and then we're gonna remove file 2. We do an ls. Now test perm is empty, and what we're gonna do is actually change directory with 2 dots. We're gonna come back. We're gonna know where we are. We are here, home Marco Lab, and now that we are here, we're gonna also delete. How do we delete? With rm test perm. And why it was not able to delete, cannot remove, do you remember? Because it's actually a directory. You have to add -r, and now it's gonna be removed. If we do ls, there's nothing inside lab. So remember, how do we create a file? We're gonna recreate the files. We do attach file 1 text, and we're gonna do attach. We're gonna do file. You can create more than one file in the same command. So here we're creating file 1, file 2. If we do an ls, now you have 2 files that are created. Let's say you want to create a folder. Let's create a folder. Let's call it files. If we do an ls, now you have 2 files plus files. Now let's move file 1 to the folder files. So let's move file 1 txt, and we send it into files. So let's do an ls. As you can see, file 1 is not there anymore, but it should be inside files. There you go. We do an ls files. It is inside files. If we do just an ls, you can see here you have file 2, and let's move it also file 2 txt, and we send it to the files. So now both files are gone. They are inside the folder or directory files. So we're able to use that. Now let's try to rename. Let's go inside files, files, and do an ls. Now you have file 1, file 2. Let's say you want to rename file 2 to file 3. So how do you do it? You do an mv file 2, that's the source, and now we're gonna say file 3.txt, and don't forget to put here 2.txt because the extension is important. Now we do that, we do an ls, file 2 is gone. Now you have file 1 and file 3. Okay, so we did a lot of exercises to get you know how to copy, you know how to move, how to rename, how to create a directory, how to move, this we've done, how to change directory, how to ask where we are, pwd, and ls to list. Rename, remove, this is not rename, this is remove. That's gonna remove a file. Man, okay, now we need to go and work with man. Man is a command. Let's go and ask to please give us a course on man. This is a big command, we want to make sure that we understand it. So first we're gonna have a man. So module mastering man the right way. What is man? Man equals manual. It shows documentation for commands installed on your system. Man ls. Think like this: Google external help. Man, it's a building documentation written by engineers. How to read man, very important. When you open man ls, you will see sections. ls lists directory contents, what the command does, Synosis, ls, option, file. How the command is structured. And description explains what the command does in detail. So it's like a help desk. Option, this is the most important part. Use a long listing format. Show hidden files. We're gonna give it a try, but we're just reading right now. These are the flags you use daily. Navigation inside man. When inside man, you can use the arrow keys to scroll, space to go to the next page, B to come back to the previous page, and /word to search. N is the next result. Q is to quit. So search example inside man ls, type sort, find anything instantly. Practical usage, real engineer way. Instead of guessing, ls something. This is bad, good, man ls. Search hidden, so it will tell you this. And when you use man when you forgot a flag, you want to learn a command deeply, you're in an interview, you are debugging. So if you don't know something, say I would check the manual using man to verify available options. That's how professionalism, independence, real world think. So if you're in an interview, they ask you something and you don't know, you said, well, in this case, I would use manual using man to check all the available options. And now man sections. Some commands have multiple versions. Man 5 password, it means number 1 user command, 5 it's the file formats, 8 is the admin commands. Man password versus man f5 password, 1 equals command, 1 is system file explanation. And alternative quick help, ls help, shorter, less and less detailed. So you have man or you have help, but it's less detailed. Search commands, man -k, and that's gonna find commands related to copy. So now we're gonna practice. First thing we're gonna do is man ls. Let's clear this. So if we do man ls, it means it's gonna give me the manual for the ls command. And now you're gonna see this page. So it's gonna tell you what's ls. ls is list directory contents. And how you should write this? Well, the command should be written with ls. Then you insert an option. And where are the options? You have them over there. -a means all. Do not ignore entries starting with. So, and then the file. So it can be sorted. This is sorted alphabetically, and you can move with the arrows. LSD is gonna list directories only. Then G, no group, human readable, pattern, and so on. Recursive is R. And if you want to get out of this page, you do Q, and you can clear to get out of this. Okay. So man CP and then recursive. So the manual for the copy, and then you have all the options. And then you can find what you're looking for. We're looking for recursive copy is hyphen a big R or capital R or small or lowercase r. So that's how you find what you're looking for. If we want to find out the manual for mkdir, find how to create parent folders. So let's go Q to quit, clear, and we're gonna look for the manual for mkadir, and we want to find out the parent folders. What you do slash parent, and you can see here on the top, P is for parents, no error if existing, make parent directory as needed with their file modes unaffected by any option. And then the manual for remove, and how do we remove recursive? A folder has to be removed recursive, because if not, it's not gonna work, because the folders might have files inside. So let's do quit, clear, and the manual for ARM, and you have recursive right here. That's how you remove directories and their contents recursively. Okay, so now we're gonna do some exercises with no help. Find, using man, how to copy a directory. Okay, let's go inside. How do we copy a directory? Q to quit, clear this, and now we're gonna do man for copy, because we want to copy. We go inside, now we do slash directory, and now copy, you have on the top, copy source to destination or multiple source to directory. You have over here, use full source file under directory. Then you have -t target directory equals directory, copy all source argument into the directory. So this is gonna copy the arguments. Okay, but also directories over here. If we do slash directories, now you can see here -r recursive. So that's how you would find out how to copy directories. So let's go and copy this. So how do we copy a directory? I would do man cp, and inside the manual I can see -r, -r to copy directories recursively. I think it's like this. Perfect. So exercise 1 is done. Let's go and do exercise 2. Find how to delete a directory recursively. So how do we find this? Q to quit, clear, and now we're gonna do a man for rm because it's the function to remove or to delete, and we are here, and once again it's the same. You have it here, -r, -r, remove recursive, remove directories and their contents recursively. So basically it's the same. It's almost the same answer. Man rm, so it would be rm r and then directory name. Okay, exercise 3, find how to create nested directories in one command. That's a good one. How to create nested directory in one command. Q to quit, clear. So mkadir, and now we're looking for nested. Oh, nothing related to nested. How to create a nested directory? Could it be parents? Parents, no error if a systemic directory is needed. Could be P. Let's see if it's that. I would say mkadir P. I could be wrong. We'll find out. How to show hidden files. How do we show hidden files? Okay. Clear man ls, and I believe it's the A. Do not ignore enters, so it's all. try to look if there's another one here. Yeah, there's nothing to do hidden, so I will go with that. Okay. So man ls a. Okay, so we're gonna send this for a revision. Excellent. This is exactly how an engineer should use man. I'm going to grade you like a technical interview, not just correct and correct, but quality of thinking. Copy directory, your answer MCP are correct. Stronger answer to copy directories, I will use CP-R, CP-R, which recursively copies all files and subdirectories. Perfect. Exercise to delete directory recursively, you answer RM, correct. Strong remove a directory's content, we use RM. Be careful because it deletes everything permanently. Bonus, remove RF, force deletion should be used cautiously. Ooh, never use this because this will remove all the files and it can actually force it, so there's no way back. Exercise 3, create nested directory, answer mkdir p, perfect. Strong version, mkdir p, create parent directories automatically if they don't exist. Exercise 4, show hidden files, your answer ls-a, correct. ls shows all files including hidden ones starting with dot, while ls-la also shows details. So what you just proved, you can use man, extract correct options, apply them correctly. This is already above many beginners. How to level this up, important. Right now your answer is correct. We now push them to interview grade. What interviewers look for, not just R copies directory. -R enables recursive copy, which require for directories because they contain nested files. That shows understanding, not memorization. So let's answer this and see. This we might not get it right. So what's the purpose of man? The purpose of man is to give you a manual of the command with the options possible when running the command and the synopsis. What does the synopsis section show? it shows the structure needed to run your command. How do you search inside man? Using /name of what we search, or yeah, I'm gonna go like this. Difference between man and help. Manual is a full guide of the possible options and structure, really detailed, and .help is a short version with less details. I think let's give it a try, this one. What does -k does? Apropos what? Let me see, KLS. Oof, what is this? Man -k-rm. I don't know how to explain this. It gives you a bunch of initials, time conversion, uniform resources, virtually. I don't really know. So let's go back. It gives a list of a lot of, I don't know, files or it's not, those are not commands. I don't know, maybe commands. Why is man important in real engineering work? Is like having a help desk. If our memory fails, it will give us the correct way to use a command. Okay, so those are my answers. So purpose of man, your answer gives manuals and options, correct, stronger. Man provides detailed documentations for command, including usage and options and behavior, allowing engineers to understand and use tools correctly without external help. Synopsis shows structure needed. The synopsis section shows the syntax of the command, including required arguments, optional flags, and how they are structured. So it shows the syntax of the command, including the required arguments, the flags, and how they are structured. Search inside your answer /name, correct. You search using /keyword, then navigates results with N. Man versus help, you answer full versus short, correct. Men provides detailed structured documentation, while help gives a quick summary of available options. Basic usage. This one we were not right. Man-k list of files or commands, partially correct. Correct version. MK searches for commands related to a keyword by scanning manual page descriptions similar to a search tool. And sample man-k copy. So why man is important? Like help desk if memory fails, good intuition, strong interview version. Man allows engineers to quickly understand and verify command behavior directly on the system, reducing dependency of external resources and preventing mistakes. So it allows to understand, verify commands, reducing dependency and external resources, preventing mistakes. You are now a beginner, intermediate, transition. You understand concept, not just command. So the next module would be SLI, efficiency, how pros work fast. This is what separates slow beginners. Okay, so we're gonna do this on the next live. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.